So we have boots here with better armor. But we lose all the rest of these resistances. See, that's the problem, is like there's going to be at some point in the game where we're going to have to really give a shit about our resistances. I think we're still pretty early in the game where I don't really have to worry about it so much. But I think we're going to quickly approach a point where I'm going to need to concentrate on that. But I think for the moment, we're just going to worry about raw armor. No. So I think the rest of this stuff is just sellable. I definitely think I would become a lot more skilled at using my pet attack button. Instead of using myself to like run in somewhere and just body block everything. Like I should have been doing in the first place. I do have to say, man, that the option to do this, to actually move your pets that way, is so convenient. I really wish, if Blizzard is going to do a remaster of Diablo 2, that they totally include that in there. They add that feature in. Okay, so we got the Abandoned Waterfront here. I'm guessing this is probably part of one of the side quests. Oh, that's right. I actually came over here the other night. There was a cave where there was like wave after wave after wave of these monsters. And I think it was this cave over here. So I definitely want to keep all of my pets near me. I want to keep the portal out of here to my back in case we need to make a very quick egress. Because when I came in here the other night, I accidentally misclicked and moved my character like over here somewhere, and as you could tell by all the monsters, I had a whole bunch of them in here, and they just rush you. They just completely keep you just isolated into that one area. It's like just one big group hug. And it was very dangerous. They were doing a shit ton of damage. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Wow, I should have totally been paying attention to that. What am I taking damage from? Is it the water itself? Oh, it is. It's the water. Oh. That's why I've been taking so much damage. It's not the monsters. It's the terrain. Interesting. So, just out of curiosity, if I put my pets over here, they don't take damage, but I take damage. Okay.
That skill's not ready.
Damn, I wish I would have known that last night. I don't know if it was just I wasn't paying attention or what. I mean, even though it was like pretty embarrassing and very dangerous for our character, it was actually, I'm actually kind of like pleased with the fact that that something like this exists in this game. Because Diablo 2 didn't really have too many environmental hazards like that. So I find it to be a little refreshing to actually encounter that in a modern day Diablo-like action RPG such as this. Explorer's footpads. They are indeed part of a set. So if we equip these, we'd be taking a small armor loss. The piercing retaliation is pretty good. The plus 3% health is pretty negligible. I don't really give a shit about that. But the plus 14% movement speed is really ridiculous. We get the fire resistance, reduce entrampment duration. I don't know if that has anything to do with, like, is that like snares, like anti-snare? And then slow resistance. I think those look pretty sexy to me. I'm gonna equip them. And I don't think we got anything else really noteworthy. Nope. Anyways. Coolio. It'd be nice to actually find the other pieces of that set. I mean, of course I would. So this entire place was just an optional side dungeon. Okay. No shrines. We are going to have to go back to town at some point so I can sell all this junk. Okay, so we got some fabric here. We apparently have to collect 3 fabric. I'm not sure if these things are just like randomly found in boxes and chests and stuff, or if they're always going to be in the same location every time. I don't know. Because it's just called weathered chest, right? That other chest was just weathered chest. There wasn't anything special about it. Unless, of course, yeah, like the chest itself was hard-coded to always be there. I don't know. I guess if I get like a fabric as a random drop from a monster, from a monster kill, then that will pretty much put it to bed. Kinds of activity over here. So we got another one of these another chest here. These chests have to be like coded in to be this way for the quest. They have to be. So we might as well just go over here and pick up the other one just to finish the quest, even though we're like desperately out of space.
My inventory is full.
God damn it. I don't want to be like over encumbered here. I just want to have everything. I always run into these problems, man. I know I'm a pack rat in most RPGs, but come on, game. That is one criticism I have of this this system here, this world map. The other criticism I have of it, because I know I've spoken about this at length before, about how I really wish I could actually zoom in. But one thing I really wish I could do is like really fucking zoom out, so I could just go back to Devil's Crossing every time. Because if I'm like quickly going back to town via the TP, you know, the town portal, Like, I don't need to, like, stick around with the map. Like, if I'm, like, in the heat of it and I'm trying to get away in, like, an emergency, I don't want to be screwing around with the map. Like, I shouldn't have to. It seems so unnecessary.
Come see what's left of my wares.
I'm not a big fan of this game's inventory management system. The auto sort, because it just does some really funky combinations that I'm just not really a big fan of.
See you around.
Did you find some fabric? Yes, here it is. Great. This is more than enough to clean this place up a bit. Should have some left over to make some new clothes. Many people here are wearing nothing but rags. Oh, and please take this jacket. I've been working on these for Briggs and the other guards, but I think you've earned the first one. Thank you. Happy to help. Okay, so we get 600 experience, 250 Devil's Crossing reputation points, and a fortified doublet. I have no idea if this is the item that you always get in this as a reward, or if it's just a random rare chest piece. I don't know. It is actually better than what I currently have on, although the armor that I'm currently wearing has pretty decent fire and lightning resistances on them. Whereas this thing has a reduced fire resistance, and instead of the awesome lightning resistance, it's a lowered cold resistance. But you do get that big health chunk and the flat defensive ability, so it's so hard sometimes. I think I'll do it. Let's see here. I got some new dialogue options here. Let's talk to Jane first. Mrs. Constance says it's okay to talk to you now. Hi! Get the fuck out of here, kid. Talk to the other one. Mrs. Constance is making new clothes for everyone. Yay! Alright, glad to hear it there, Brett. I'm sorry. I misjudged you. You do so much to keep us all safe. I take it... Oh, wait, we've already asked her that, so just doing my part. We don't need to ask her about our goddamn children anymore. So apparently, I didn't realize it was going to be a quest that actually changes the appearance of Devil's Crossing itself. That's pretty cool.
See anything you like? See you around.
So as far as our Devil's Crossing, we're getting close, kind of ish, to at least the quarter mark to the next level, which will be respected. Man, you have to do some like crazy ass shit to get to like actually max this out. Like, I'm just wondering if it has anything to do with I don't know, like maybe like there's some sort of like quest or something like that where, you know, like killing certain monsters, kind of like Guild Wars. Guild Wars Eye of the North, where you go out in the wilderness and you talk to somebody and they give you like a quest that gives you points for killing this type of monster. Is that something like that that's actually implemented in this game? That gives you the reputation points? Is that a thing? Because I have no idea how the hell you would be able to completely max that out. If there wasn't some way to actually successfully like grind enough points per day. Not really entirely certain that the Abandoned Waterfront over here connects what appears to be, yeah, the over here on the east. Or if this is like its own like separate map. I don't know, man. Looks like it might actually connect via bridge. I don't really want to go across the, whatever that is right away here. I want to actually try to get through the rest of this, this wilderness here. Although we got this big mansion that obviously has a few pieces of lore. Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. That was on the other side of the place that we were originally at. So we got a note here. The Harbor Master's log. Boy, this place just feels like just a complete digression. I mean, other than for the fabric, because all three pieces I think have been found over here. You know, as I play this build a little bit more and more, I'm starting to become really brutally aware that this build might be a little gear specific. Like, there's enough skills in this game, like the actual masteries, there's enough of those that I feel like you can get by. But to make like this build actually work in the harder difficulties, I guess to make it like somehow competitive, I think you really have to have specific pieces of gear. Because I know that there's some endgame sets that revolve around very specific builds. And I know that there's at least one that focuses on pets. It'll be very interesting to see what our build is going to look like at the end game. Whether or not it's going to be completely reliant on all of that hardcore elite gear. So how the fuck do I get down? Wow, these things hurt, man. Damn thing walloped me. Get in there. Go. Those eyeball things are always like so freaky. Because they always blend in. They're like camouflaged at first. You know, like I just don't ever notice them first. And then they start zapping you. So they just catch me off guard. So it looks like this cellar system down here is going to be the same as the other ones. Where it's going to be like this little sub dungeon that just basically connects two areas of the overworld. You know, I did gain a level here. There we go. Wendigo totem. It lives for 12 seconds. And yeah, so it's just something that I need to recast. Okay. Probably should maybe put that as number, say number 3. Right. Try to keep all of my the buttons that I know I'm going to be using the most, or that attached to these skills I know I'm going to be completely repeating. So shouldn't this thing actually be providing me with a bonus? Am I missing something here? So it's supposed to actually restore my health, and it's supposed to do vitality damage, but when I was standing around it, I didn't see myself restore any health at all. Like, I was assuming that I would probably... Here, how about this? Well, we'll do this. Plop that bitch down. Look at, I'm standing right next to it, right? I was under the assumption that it would basically show up under here as an active effect, but it doesn't. So how do I know that, like, it's actually working? And the reason why I ask is because, well, I mean, if my minions are way over here and my totem's like right over here in the middle somewhere, I need to know if they're going to be actually under effect of it, or maybe if I'm going to be under the effect of it, because there are going to be some monsters that are going to be ranged and are going to be pegging me. So it'd be kind of nice to know if I was getting that health bonus, right? That's really disappointing. Wow, I don't know what to say. Maybe it's not giving us the effect because we're at full health, if that makes sense. Yep, I'm just paying attention to the little icons. It's too bad. I noticed that my aura, the Madrogan's Pact here, like if I send my minions, so my Blight Fiend and my Briarthorn are definitely under the effect of it because they're standing right next to me, right? So if I move them way over here, and they get so far away, then obviously it's not going to be, they're not going to be under the effect of it. So I definitely want to be kind of close to my monsters, to all my minions. But I absolutely need them to go first. I mean, that's kind of their function. There are little things like that that I'm glad I'm actually, you know, becoming aware of now. Because it just, I don't know, it's just one of those things where when you really want to min-max, but there are like mechanics of the game that you're just not familiar with yet, it becomes really frustrating. So it's been a while since we actually took a look at our inventory, see if we got anything worth equipping here. And I think chances are most of this stuff is just going to be pawn shop fodder. Although I'm always on the hunt for a new main hand weapon. Really trying to find something that actually has, like, I don't know, some kind of effect on attack. Like, those are always fun. Or maybe like something that has like bonuses to pets. That'd be pretty handy. Okay, so we're just about up at this place over here. The square that has been pre-revealed somehow in some way. We also have a boss. Or no, excuse me, this is part of the quest, but we will have a boss because there is a devotion shrine over here. So let's rotate the camera. Okay, so we do have a Desecrated Shrine, and these are the ones, if you guys remember, if you recall from some of the previous streams, where basically we just have to fight a couple waves of monsters. So before I do that, I'm going to actually want to clear out some of the surrounding area. Because I really don't want to have to, like, get bombarded by a million monsters when I'm trying to make, like, a really quick exit. Because I'm getting blasted. Or I just need to reposition. Almost sounds like a setup for like a really bad zombie movie. Somebody repositions, then they just find themselves in bed with like just a million other zombies.
That skill's not ready.
Booyah. Got ourselves a new epic. By the way it sounds, I'm thinking it's probably a helmet. Nether crown. That would be such a fantastic helmet if it was just for one of our classes. Well, it's definitely a keeper. God, it's just so disappointing. Every time you get like an item like that. Just the possibility. We do have the other devotion point though, so let's see here. Yep. And I think that means we can finish Shepherd's Crook here. So by finishing Shepherd's Crook, that's going to give us the 25% chance on attack. It's one of these proc skills. So a 25% chance to attack, and basically it does what? It gives me bonus offensive ability and then these bonuses to all my pets. Which is pretty interesting. And it must be assigned to earn experience. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put that on... Maybe Grasping Vines, because Grasping Vines has a very short cooldown compared to Ill Omen. The other thing about Ill Omen is this is one of those skills that it's definitely more situational. Because I'm really only finding myself wanting to cast this as either A, when I know I have the situation already under control, or B, like I need to do it because the monster or monsters that are around me are getting a little too close for comfort and I need them to back that ass away. And this is the best skill to do it. Or I guess the third option is when I'm fighting a boss, because, you know, we are going to get all these other like really cool debuffs. And of course the damages themselves. I mean, so this is something that what I'm saying is like between those three options, like I'm not really going to be casting this, whereas I'm going to be casting this all the time. So why don't we put it onto Grasping Vines? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can respec these as well. Now that we finished Shepherd's Crook, that gave us the complete constellation bonus of the 5, what is this, the Ascendant. So that means that basically what I can do is I can take off the one devotion from Crossroads, right? Can I do that? How do I actually remove these, or do I actually have to go talk to the respec person? I think I have to wait till I get to the respec person before I do that. I don't know. Gonna have to go back to town here pretty quickly. because we are running out of inventory space. So we got Darlette here. I can't believe somebody found me out here. I came down into the cellar looking for supplies, but got cut off from the surface by the dead. I don't know what to do. So here, Kasparov sent me. I can open a rift gate and get you to safety. You can do that? I can't say that raises my confidence in you, but then again, I don't like the alternative either. Portal away. Safe journeys there, young lady. We will meet you in town just very shortly. So looks like we got another lore page here. So 25% chance every time. 25% chance on attack. I don't really understand that, what that means. Does that mean that, like, Shepherd's Call has a 25% chance on the dots, the damage over time? That every time, every second, or every interval that the dots do their damage or do their effect, that it has a chance of proccing the 25% chance? Or is this a 25% chance on my cast of this? Because it seemed to me that, like, I was only able to put this on basically Grasping Vines and Ill Omen, and both of those are basically like damage over time skills. So it would kind of make sense to me to some degree that this has a 25% chance of just doing its mojo every time, every interval the dots do their thing. Unless I'm completely wrong. I always try to employ, like, the whole Occam's razor whenever it comes down to ascertaining design mechanics in video games. I think after the playoffs, I'm going to try to get a definite, more regular schedule when it comes to streaming this and Guild Wars Eye of the North. I'm trying to actually work out a serious working schedule for myself. Because I feel like that's definitely one of the boundaries that I've kind of created for myself. Is that I just stream whenever I just feel like it, you know, just do it willy-nilly like that.
My inventory is...
And I know that that's not really exactly conducive to convenience for you viewers out there, so I got some bad habits I gotta change. I think I'm gonna take a break here. We've been streaming for a little over an hour straight now. I think I'm due for that, and besides, I'm out of my lovely beverage here to use a refill. So I'll be back in a few moments, folks. Just bear with me. See you in a few.